Here we're going to cover 3 main areas of preparation for Dawntrail: retainers, currencies and gear. Those first 2 being great routes to making a ton of gil at launch. And kicking us off, we'll look at retainers. These can take a good while to level to 90, so start getting prepped now to be ready for Dawntrail. Why? As in addition to new materials selling for reasonable amounts on release, expect new retainer-only source minions which will fetch hundreds of thousands, if not millions, for a decent period after expansion launch. So great for adding to your collection or making big bank. Digging into retainers a little, know that there are 4 unique sets of rewards. 1 set unique to each of battle, fishing, mining and botany classes. Noting within battle classes, the specific battle job doesn't actually impact the type of items you can obtain. It just impacts the type of gear you'll be able to equip to the retainer. For the first time ever, I've actually decided to take the plunge and pay my hard-earned cash for 2 extra retainers on top of the 2 free ones, enabling me to assign a retainer to each type. Great if you wish, but not a recommendation per se, given the extra real money cost on top of your monthly sub. For the majority sticking with 2 retainers, just make sure that each retainer is set to a different class type, rather than the mistake I previously made of having 2 battle job retainers only. One very important factor which should influence not only which types you assign, but also which battle job in particular you pick, is the fact that your retainers can only level up to the same level which your actual character is for that job. So if your actual character only has the paladin job at level 40, a paladin gladiator retainer will only be able to get to level 40 at max, and you can't change the job of your retainer without it going all the way back to level 1. As I'll be heading to level 100 on Summoner first, I've actually reset my paladin retainer back down to level 1, now leveling it up to be an Arcanist and then subsequently a Summoner. Note, if you are looking to level Pictomancer or Viper first and want a matching retainer, then you can level a Battler retainer now, picking any starting battle class, but do not assign it a specific battle job at any point, instead leveling it to level 90 as a base class. Then simply wait for Dawntrail, where you'll then be able to assign the new jobs. Huge note/disclaimer. Please be aware that it does take time to level a retainer from level 10 to 90. For reference, it takes a total of 249 quick ventures. So on average you'll need to do 4 a day at the point this video was released to complete in 2 months between now and Dawntrail launch. Though of course, you can cut this down considerably by doing a lot more than 4 a day. Lastly, a few tips on the leveling side of retainers. At level 1, setting your retainers on just 2 18-hour exploration missions should get them to level 10, where they will unlock the important quick ventures. Quick ventures are then great as they do not have any gear or stat requirements all the way to level 90. And you're also not required to have actually gathered certain materials before you can send your retainer out to get them. These last 1 hour, so any point you're in game for over an hour, use these as much as possible as they give the most efficient XP per minute. If you are out of the game for over 15 hours, then consider the 18-hour ventures to level as quickly as possible. However, you will need to equip gear to each retainer to meet either the item level requirement for battle classes or the gathering requirement on gathering classes. 15 hours out the game is the mark, as you only need to do 3 1-hour quick ventures to earn more experience points than the lengthy 18-hour ones. Next section, currencies, and kicking off with those related to battle classes. With a view to make some great gil come 7.0, I would strongly recommend capping, bi-colour gemstones from Fates, sacks of nuts from Hunt Marks, and faux leaves from Unreal Trials. These have all stayed consistent across Endwalker and Shadowbringers, so outside chance they remain the same in Dawntrail areas. I'm on the fence on these, as I can certainly see us getting newer versions, but no harm in capping, as worst case you can just go back and buy valuable items to sell from the old vendors in the event Dawntrail replaces them. Though, out of the three mentions, faux leaves would be the one that I am certain will stay the same. And talking of faux leaves, they are a little different as you won't be able to earn them between 7.0 and 7.1, so would need to cap them pre-Dawntrail. And given the nature of how few you can get a week via Unreal and faux hollows, I would strongly recommend prioritising getting these ASAP. Easy 10 to 15 million gil when 7.1 adds new items for those that are prepped. Next on currencies, those related to crafting and gathering. I would strongly recommend capping all white and purple scrips. Purple scripts will likely have very valuable new crafting and gathering material 11 added to them, and potentially new fishing baits or crafting items, and white scripts should become convertible to gain you more purple scripts. Also note that the purple scripts will also likely be needed for new gathering tomes and crafter recipe books, so good to be capped to get a head start on unlocking those valuable new 7.0 materials and recipes. It's also extremely easy to cap white and purple scripts if you start now, as you can net 2,000 plus of each per week for about 10 minutes work via custom deliveries. Another big one, you can do some serious prep by stocking up on turn-in collectibles, as all of these will be tradable for purple scripts after 7.0 launch. This is great as you'll need a ton of purple scripts for the all-important new Crafter Master Recipe books, which will actually probably come a couple of weeks after launch, and the new Gatherer Folklore tomes, which will come on launch day. These grant access to the latest recipes and the latest legendary gathering items. And for example, you'll likely need a total of 14,400 purple scripts to unlock all new gathering items across all jobs, or 4,800 per gathering job. Moving on to Gil itself. If you want to buy the latest level 100 battle, crafting and gathering gear from the market board rather than crafting it yourself, you are going to need some huge bank. A specific number is difficult, but if also wanting to meld the max amount of material to each gear piece, then 5 to 10 million plus per gear set certainly wouldn't be unheard of. I'll link to one of my Gil making vids in the description. And for our third and final section in this vid, gear prep. First up, battle gear. For your main class, you'll already be in high enough gear to get into Dawntrail, because the item level requirement of the first Dawntrail dungeon will only be marginally above the last required item level of the endwalker MSQ. That'll be item level 630 for the avoidance of any doubt. From a gearing prep perspective though, you may want to prep gear to support leveling for a class that you are looking to level outside of your current main, including the new jobs Pictomancer and Viper. Picto and Viper's opening quests will give you a set of item level 515 left side gear along with a weapon. In prep, I would recommend stashing away a set of level 80, item level 530 accessories, purchasable from Yulmore for Poetics. Remember that Pictomancer will utilise caster gear, and Viper will utilise scouting gear the same as ninjas. It's then a pretty good idea to prep a set of level 90 gear to support the levelling of those jobs. I'd recommend any combo of 640 crafted gear off the market board, or current tome gear, or gear from the latest Alliance raids for example. Ideally though, utilising whatever pieces you may already have. The other option is to cap your poetic tomes, as upon 7.0, our current tome gear, pre-upgraded to 660, will be available for Razatan for Poetics. Note though, a full set with weapon will set you back 4,055 Poetics, so even if you also cap Causality and Comedy tomes, which will convert to Poetics at 7.0, you won't have enough to buy the full set of level 90 off the bat. Lastly, gear prep for crafting and gathering. If you're already highly geared, aka close to best in slot, then you're all set. You should find yourself being able to head straight to level 100 and craft the new top crafting and gathering gear without the necessity to upgrade your own gear first. If you're newer to crafting and want to get involved come 7.0, then the folks over at TeamCraft have done a stellar job mathing out the melds required on the latest item level 620 purple scrip gear to achieve the same result. So the best prep would be to get yourself a full set of item level 620 purple scrip gear, then meld it as per the budget set on the TeamCraft page, which I'll link to in the description. For gathering, the item level 620 purple scrip gear should also be a good spot for your leveling journey to 100. Again, I'll link to the TeamCraft page, which contains budget set meld recommendations. All done. Your support going into Dawntrail would be hugely appreciated if you could like and subscribe to complete the duty.